Story. Once upon a time. I don't know if they do this in other countries, but in Nigeria where I grew up, this is how we tell stories. Anyways, sometime in January this year, 2022, I created a tech account on Instagram. It was dedicated for coding and programming, and for a long time from January till May I have been trying out different things, experimenting different things, from designs to I've just been experimenting different things, and my growth was kind of very slow. But from May 11th, when I had 58 to 60 followers, I was able to grow to 1,000 followers by June 11th. And in fact, as at the time of recording this video, which is June 19, I'm currently on 1.6k followers. It's really nice. When I started this account, I didn't have any social media management experience of any sort. So for me, it was like a learning phase. It was like an experiment phase to learn how to manage social media, to learn how to build a community, to have like a follower base. The only way I've done this before was through my YouTube videos, but then doing this on a social media platform like Instagram was very new for me. So it was really an exciting journey, as I had, planned for it to be. In this video, I'll be taking you through a story, like I said, from how I started the account, the inspiration behind starting the account, everything I had to experiment, from time to design to consistency to even advertisement at some point. I want to share as much as I can in this video. And if you're not interested in the story, you can go to the timestamp that is currently on the screen, where I just give a summary of everything that I said in the story. But if you're interested in the story, then join me. Let's move on. Story. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my space here, I share tips and lessons from my technical career experiences, from content creation to software development to developer advocacy to technical writing. I share all of that, and I also share experiences around my life. So if these are things you're interested in, then please hit the subscribe button. I want to start this story by saying there is so much joy, at least for me, seeing my content get more reach. It really feels encouraging and really motivating to continue creating informative content. In fact, I remember during March when I created this post on Instagram, and I think up to now the post has like 4 to 5 likes. But I reposted this same post recently, added more information, and currently it's doing numbers. It's even above 200 likes. So it's really so beautiful for me seeing how much I have grown, and that's really why I want to share this for anybody who is interested in also growing a tech Instagram account. I don't know if this will apply in other fields. Some tips, some things may apply definitely, but what I have is a tech Instagram account. So if you want to start something similar, or if there are any tips that apply for you regardless of whatever field you want to try, then hopefully this video is for you too. Now I want to start the story, and I also want to say it was really hard for me to keep up. So I have a video script where I wrote everything I want to say in this video, and it was really hard storing everything in my head and trying to talk about it here. So I have my phone by the side here, which has the script. So if you see me turning here, it's because I'm looking at the script, and this even makes it easier for me because I don't have to study or have to say something 5 times. Anyways, enough of the chit chat. Let's go to the story. It's already how many minutes in? First off, I also want to say that I like creating dedicated accounts for different things. I have this channel for my technical career and my life, and I also have the deeecode YouTube channel for coding and programming. I love having dedicated platforms because while it can be hard to manage multiple platforms, it also helps me to build a niche in different platforms. So what was the inspiration behind even starting deeecode? The first inspiration was I love creating dedicated accounts, and the second inspiration was that I also noticed during January, or at least I observe that many people that I knew in the tech space had personal Instagram accounts and also had a different Instagram account for their field. So people in product design, they had such, people in software development had such, people in photography had such. And for me, I also saw it like a great thing because it helps people not to litter their personal account with their work related stuff. I mean, it's not like it's wrong to do that, but I also just saw the beauty in creating a different platform for such things. So that was the inspiration for me, because on my personal Instagram account I have different friends from different fields, and it's not just really the best way, in my opinion, or at least for me, to grow a tech community. So that was the inspiration behind creating this new account. And although I didn't have a very clear direction at the start of what I wanted to do on this account, I really wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I just knew in my head roughly that for any technical related stuff, I would be dumping it there. I thought of sharing things like my videos. Maybe when I create a new video, I can share it on the tech space. When I write a new article, I can share it on the tech space. That was the idea I had. It wasn't really something solid. It was more like a dumping ground for these things. So when I created the Instagram account, I shared it on my personal Instagram account and also shared it on my WhatsApp status. I told people, okay, so this is where I'll be doing more of my tech stuff now, not on my personal Instagram again. And as at the time, I got my first 10 to 20 followers. So it felt like a very great start, like, okay, let's continue from here. And as you can see on the screen currently, this was how I started. So I would make posts and reels, sharing my workspace, new videos I release on my channel, new articles that I write. And although I got some likes and engagements, especially on the reels, I didn't really get much followers. It just felt like people like it and don't find reasons to follow me. I don't know why. Another problem I had with Instagram too was that I couldn't create clickable links. So Instagram is very bad with links. I don't know why, but you can only create clickable links on your story. Like somebody can click a link from your story and then navigate it to whatever website you link to. But if you put links in your Instagram captions, be it posts, videos or reels, people cannot click it. They literally have to retype it again. And it makes things hard because retyping links, come on. So I had to start adding links on the images that I post, hoping that people would like it. I don't know how much of a difference it made anyways, but yeah, that was it. So I was growing my Instagram, I was dumping things, and I felt like, okay, I don't think I'm growing. This growth is really little. I may be missing out something. I have this friend and her name is Kaylee and her handle is currently on the screen. She's a social media manager, or she has experience in that, and I asked her, like, could you share some tips? I'm trying to build a social account for tech, and I would really appreciate some tips. And she did share some tips. So she went through my account and she shared many things. But the three major things she shared, which I want to share here, is number one, she talked about keeping my designs vertical and not horizontal, my designs or my posts. Because as you'd notice in some of my posts, some of them were horizontal and there was space at the top, space at the bottom. She talked about how having that much space doesn't create a smooth scrolling experience, especially for people on mobile, but creating things vertically, which fills up the screen, really helps the flow and also helps the algorithm in suggesting your post. The next thing she mentioned was making my cover designs more appealing. So she mentioned that I could specially design covers for my reels. So instead of picking a particular frame in a reel and making it the thumbnail cover, I can design a separate cover, make it a cover for the reel, and then when you click on the cover, you can then see the real video itself. And then she talked about making my content easily searchable. Like if somebody comes to my account and they're looking for something on React, they should be able to, like from the whole grid, they should be able to see something on React and click on it without having to scroll through all the posts that I have looking for something on React. So yeah, basically making your content easily searchable. These are the three major tips she shared. And during that process too, I was making research on other tech accounts, and I think this was the point where I literally had to decide how things would be going forward on my account. Would I just be sharing links of my videos or my reels, or what exactly do I want to do? And then this was the point I realized that instead of having to always give people links, they should go to my YouTube or they should go to my Instagram to look for something, I realized that, or I decided that I was going to post informative content on Instagram. So without having to link to a different place, you would find the informative content on my Instagram account itself. So this was where I started, like, okay, I was going to share tech informative content, and I started this on March 17th, 2022. When I made the first post, I didn't get much turnout, but I also wasn't expecting so much turnout at the start because, like I said, this was more like an experiment phase for me. It was like a learning phase, and for me, I was just hopeful that at some point in the future it would start making sense. I decided I was also going to do this consistently, like 3 to 4 times a week, as much as I can. Actually, I wanted to do this every day, but I felt like every day would be a stretch, so I just wanted to do 3 to 4 times a week. But surprisingly, ever since then, I have been posting content every day, and it's really been fun, even up till now. So I don't know, I was scared, but so far I've really found it fun. I also thought of experimenting reels by making jokes or making tech videos via reels. Like I said, I was literally experimenting a lot of things. I think after doing some informative content, at some point I felt like I want to make a reel video, just a new week reel, just to say Happy New Week to people. And I felt like I could also make this a thing, make it consistent, post this at every week, because I believe it would keep my followers kind of expectant. Like, it's a new week, where is his video? I just felt like it was something I could just add to my personal, like, this is just particular about this person. And it's been going nice ever since. I've been doing the new week reel every week, and it's been nice. Another thing I was experimenting too was I was experimenting with time. So I make a post at a particular time, maybe in the morning. I see the engagement and I try to, make another post again for that morning. Because I was trying to really identify the time where I had more followers active. But to be honest, experiment with time has not been my best, because there was a time I experimented with time in the evening. I got so like 8 likes on the post, and then the next day I made another post at that same time and I got 4 likes, and I was like, come on. And then I made another post in the afternoon. It got like 8 likes. I made it the afternoon the second day again, and it got like 3 likes, and I was like, this time thing isn't working for me. So I think I just had to make peace with the fact that I don't want to depend on time, because even recently I have been avoiding making content in the evening, like evening my own time, because I feel like most of my followers are not very active at that moment. And today I made a post in the evening, and in 4 hours I had 150 likes, and I was shocked. Like, I thought people are not active in the evening. So I think for me, time doesn't work. Whenever my content is ready, I just push it out. And I continued in my observation, looking at other accounts. What are they doing? What can I learn? And then I noticed this lady. And this lady, literally, I think I saw her when she was on 2K followers. And the next day I saw her on 3K. And then I saw her on 4K the following day. And then 5K. And I literally felt like, Shay, they whine me. I mean, in English, it's like, is this magic? Are you kidding me? Is this playing? So what I did was I reached out to her via DM. I complimented her growth and her hard work. And then I also asked if she could share some tips with me. Thankfully, she did. By the way, this is her account currently on the screen. She shares amazing content on Instagram. You should really check her out. So she shared a couple of things, and the first one she mentioned was that I was using the old dimension for making posts on Instagram. And I think the old dimension is 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels, which is like a square. But she recommended that I use the new dimension, which was 1080 pixels by 1350 pixels, as this usually fills the whole screen vertically. That was the first thing she shared. The second thing she shared was that my fonts also made things harder to read, especially for her. Like, the fonts didn't look friendly, it wasn't readable, and she recommended using nice and simple fonts where people can easily read. The third thing she mentioned was that I shouldn't have to create designs that fill up the whole screen. So she recommended that I make designs that I just have to make it as simple as possible. The title, maybe the description, it's easy to read, it's easy to see, and it doesn't have to be too occupied. And the fourth thing she shared, which was one of the major things, was that she talked about how I was using the wrong tags for my post. So on Instagram, you can add tags to your post to get it more reach, especially related tags. If you are doing something in food, you can add hashtag food, hashtag eating, all those things. So she talked about how I was using the wrong tags. And the wrong tags in this context was that as a growing account, I was using the tags which had 1 million posts already made with such tags, 2 million posts already made with such tags, 800,000 posts already made with such tags. So she made me understand that as a grown account, those tags won't favor me, because those tags favor the popular accounts, the accounts which have more engagement, and I may never get visibility using those tags. So she recommended that I use tags with like 100k posts, 200k posts, maybe 90k posts. I don't really have to use the tags that are below 50k because people don't really check those tags, but somewhere around 100k. And she mentioned that using a real human picture in my profile might also help, because initially I was using my deeecode logo, but yeah, I changed it to a human picture, and you can also see there the human picture currently is something like this. These are really helpful tips that she shared, and then I did my next design. I changed my fonts, something very simple, and then I showed her, and she was like, yeah, this looks better than the previous one. And then I went through the tags that I was using. So Instagram allows a maximum of I think 30 tags. So what I did was I looked for fresh 30 tags that had an average of like 100k posts, some 90k, some 200k, some 100k. After doing that, by checking the insights, my insight on Instagram, I noticed that more people, it started very small actually, but more people were beginning to find my content through hashtags. So those are really very helpful tips. I think after updating my design and everything, I noticed I was getting like 12 to 14 likes on my post on average consistently. All these things that I'm mentioning were before May 11th, where the big change started happening. So at some point I felt like maybe I should try advertisements. Let me try Instagram promotions. And then I was going through Instagram promotions and I found the very cheapest option, which was €1 per day. And I did this one for 7 days, which was €7 for 1 week. That didn't really have much turnout. I think from the advertisement, only 15 people viewed my profile and like 3 of them actually followed me. And one mistake I think I made was I didn't manually select my audience. So with Instagram promotions, you can manually select your audience. Like I want people in the America, I want people of this certain age group, I want people in the tech industry to be the target audience. But for me, I was too lazy, and then I set it to just be automatically. And I noticed a friend of mine who doesn't really have much work with tech, he just sent one of the advertisements that appeared on his story. I was like, Dillion, am I your target audience? So I think if I had probably set these things manually, I would have reached more people. But yeah, Instagram promotions didn't really work for me. Now I'm stepping into May, and this is where the growth started happening. I've tried so many things, and I was around 50 followers at this time, I think 53. Then I noticed something on Instagram. So there are very popular accounts on Instagram which doesn't really have like a human personality behind it. It's probably a group of people managing it, I have no idea. But you have accounts like JavaScript tips, coding tips, this, that. The one that I really saw a lot was new JavaScript, and they had like 100k followers at the time, or I think 90k followers. And what I noticed was these people posted or reposted content that was already made by other individuals like myself, and this post really got a lot of engagement. So I went to their bio, and then I saw DM for promotions, and I was like, all right, let's see what they have. And then I went in and I was like, hey, I would love to do a promotion. How does it work? How much does it cost? And I'm sorry, but I cannot really disclose the amount here, but it was a paid partnership basically. So they gave me the price, and they told me, when you pay this, we repost one of your content on our platforms, we tag you to it, we also add that post to our story, and then we also add your account to our bio, like follow deeecode. But the money was higher than my budget. I was like, this is high. Is there any form of discount? But they were like, since you are not necessarily promoting like a book or promoting something else, since this is an informative content you want to promote, we can take a little out. It was really very little because the money was still expensive. But I think I was just like, I wanted to just try it out and see how it would work. For me, I was eager to just do the experiment and see the result. And after they made this post, in a space of 3 to 4 days, the post had like 300 to 400 likes, and I got like roughly 100 new followers. I was blown. I was really happy. My own content, something I created, having as much as 300 likes, 400 likes, and then comments of people saying this is helpful. My stuff is helpful. People are seeing it. It was really so nice to see. I even got jealous. Like, why don't I have this 100,000 followers myself? But anyways, it was really so nice and impressive. And as you'd expect, I wanted to try the promotion again, but the money was expensive. I didn't think I was ready to leave on something like that. So what I did was I messaged them again. So the person I'm talking about now is this new JavaScript. This is their tag. You can check them out. So I asked them again, like, if I'm posting multiple posts, do I get a discount? And they're like, okay, yeah, so if you're making 3 posts in a month, yeah, we can give you this discount. Although that discount was quite favorable, it was still beyond my budget, and I was like, I'll get back to you. I went back to trying IG promotions, and I was like, okay, let me just try this again. I tried it, I didn't see much result, and I was like, you know what, I'm not doing IG promotions again. I'm just going to go to this popular account when I'm ready. At this point now, I decided to try an informative reel. I haven't done an informative reel before. I tried an informative reel where I explained a particular programming concept, and it got high engagement, and I felt like maybe I should start doing informative reels. I did it the second time and it didn't really get much engagement, although it was higher than what I get on average. But at the same time, I was like, there is so much work that goes into reels. I don't have that time. With the other responsibilities I have in a day, I cannot make informative reels consistently. So I just dropped it and went back to my post. So around this time, I had like 150 followers. I realized my content was getting more engagement. It really felt encouraging, and it helped me stay consistent. Then one thing I observed again was that more people were viewing my story than the people who were liking my post. Like, I was getting on my story, I was getting like 20 views, 25, and my post I'm getting like 8, 10, 12. So probably this is common knowledge and everybody knows this already, but I started posting, like when I make a post, I post it on my story and I'm like, check this out. And then I noticed, okay, more people were now seeing my stuff. Still observing other accounts, I noticed this very beautiful Instagram feature called collaboration. Collaboration is similar to tagging people, but here is the difference. Now, if I make a post and I tag you, when people go, the post is on my feed, it is not on your feed, it is on my feed. And when people go through the post, they can click the tag and they are redirected to your profile. Now, this is where collaboration is different. Collaboration is such that when I make a post and I invite you as a collaborator, it's going to, when you accept, it's going to appear on my feed, the post, and it's also going to appear on your feed. So on my feed, it reaches as much people as it would on my feed, and on your feed, it also reaches as much people as it would on your feed. And this is really so beautiful because on my feed, people see you, people see me, and on your feed, people see you, people see me. So it really serves both parties very good when it comes to engagement. And I was like, okay, for this new JavaScript people that I have this contract with, the next time I'll be doing a contract with them, instead of having them to repost one of my content and then tag me, I would want a collaborator kind of request. And then I informed them that, okay, for the next promotion I'll be doing, I want the collaboration feature. And then I paid the 1 month agreement, which came with a discount for 3 posts. I had to use this 3 posts wisely because the money was expensive. So I did the first posts. I added them as a collaborator, and it got nice engagement. In a few days, I had an extra 100 followers. So I was somewhere around 250 as at this time. And I also felt like it was just remaining 2 posts, and I have to also use it wisely. Now, with 250 followers, I had more engagement, an average of 30 likes on my post, and few of my posts even got to as much as 50 and 70 at that point. It was so nice. Then I did another post, but this time it was a reel, and I did something so nice. So I made a real version of the content, and then I made a post version of the content. And in the real version, I said something like, check out my profile to see the written version of it. And then I added this new JavaScript as a collaborator on the reel, and the reel got so much engagement. And because I also said you can check out the posts, some people also checked out the post, so it was also very nice. Now I'm somewhere around 300 to 400 followers, I have just one more post in my promotions and I don't have so much money to spend. Another thing I noticed again was top accounts were beginning to follow me. Like accounts of 5k followers, 10k followers, and then there was even this account with 100k followers that followed me. And I felt like people are seeing my stuff now, people are learning from my stuff now. It's really so nice to see. I also had a discussion with this person running the new JavaScript, and I asked them what they thought about my current post design. And they mentioned that, well, you can add all these nice avatars to your post, because one thing with Instagram is you notice so many avatars. It could be superheroes, it could be presidents, it could be humans, it could be celebrities, but they have these nice avatars on their cover. And this person also recommended the same, but for me, I was like, many people are doing this thing and I really don't want to join the whole, I don't want to join them. I want to have a little bit of difference. And the person was like, well, I understand, that's fair, but maybe you can just add icons just to make your content catchy so that people can see your content and see what you have to offer. So as you would see on the screen, I started adding icons to my designs and it kind of gave my content new shape and new look. Then this person also made me understand something about Instagram, especially when it comes to followers. He made me understand that, although this may be an exaggeration because I haven't seen it apply to me yet, but he mentioned that the time it takes you to grow from 0 followers to 1,000 followers is the same time it will take you to grow from 1,000 followers to 10,000 followers. And the logic here is simple. So if I have 50 followers and of these 50 followers, 5 of them regularly engage with my content and share it, maybe from that engagement, 1 person would follow me. Now, if I have 100 followers and 10 people engage with my content regularly, then now I have 2 followers. Now, when you think about this in comparison with like 500 followers and with 1,000 followers, I have more people now engaging with my content, and then my content gets more reach. It is now recommended more, and it's, appearing in other people's feeds. So it's really a nice concept where the more you grow, the easier it is for you to keep growing. So I think when this person made me understand this, my goal was just, when I get to 1k followers, then things will just be easier. So my goal now should just be getting to that 1k, and I also have to use this one last promotion wisely to get to that 1k. And also I want to thank the person that this person behind the new JavaScript. So sometimes the person repost stuff from other accounts even when there are no contracts. So if they just find something informative, they share it. And this person also did this for 1 or 2 of my posts. They found it informative and they just shared it on their own. So it was also nice for me to get some followers and engagements from that, and visibility also. My content now was getting more reach. I was beginning to get nice comments like, I love how you simplify stuff. You really explain this thing so well. It was really so nice and encouraging. Like, oh, finally, months being in this thing, and at some point even been very discouraged, and now people are seeing my stuff. So for now, I had the last post in the contract, and I was thinking, do I make this a reel or do I make this a post? And at the time, I also had like 850 followers on my account. So I had already grown to an extent, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this a post. And I really had high hopes on that post. So it's a post that dealt with React framework. And I was like, this post must really go far. People must really find this thing very helpful. And I did it, and it was really nice. I mean, currently the post has like 1,000 likes already, so many comments of people finding it so helpful. And then at this point, I also got so many followers and I crossed 1k. So there you have it, everyone. I mean, there is so much that has happened since June 11th. There is so much growth. Like I said, I'm currently on 1.6k. I'm even getting to 1.7k. I should be in 1.7k by the time I'm done editing this video. And that's really how I got to 1k followers. So you can see there's a lot that went in, from experiment to advertisements to consistency and everything. Now, I learned so many things in this journey, but one thing that I am learning, or one thing that I really learned, is that there are some general tips that apply to everyone. When it comes to consistency, making your designs appealing or attractive, adding beautiful elements, nice avatars, and all those things. Those are general tips that work for everybody. But then there are some tips that don't work for everybody. Like I mentioned earlier, reels don't really work for me at the moment. There is this account I know, and this account only posts reels. and they are growing so rapidly. But when I look at me and my other responsibilities, I know I don't have time for reels, to really create reels. So one thing I just really discovered is you really need to just find what works for you. You don't really have to follow the crowd and do what they're doing, make designs the way they're making the designs. Just find what works for you, what you can do, without feeling so pressured. You don't want to create content and it's like every day you wake up with, I have to create a content today. You want to create something that you enjoy as much as you also enjoy the process of it. So find what works for you. You can also learn how to be creative and find something that is really tied to you. Like I mentioned, creating this Happy New Week reel is kind of my own one way of being creative. For me, it may not be the most effective, but it's my own way of being creative. I also do this for weekends, like it's the weekend, go enjoy and stuff like that. It just gives me this kind of like, this is what is tied to my own profile. There is also a couple of people who they make videos, and when they make videos, it's like, so they're like, here are 5 ways to do this in X, and then they put their hand on the screen and then they remove their hand on the screen, and when they remove their hand you can see the contents that they're sharing. So it just really feels like this is a nice transition, this is a nice way to show content. So you just need to find a way to be creative. And I've said enough, but a summary for everything I've just said, which have worked for me, is number 1, being consistent. The more consistent you are, the more engagement you get, the more people see you, and even the more Instagram recommends your content. I remember somebody mentioned to me recently that one of my posts was found in the Explore page. So they found my post from the Explore page. It felt like a big win because you went to the Explore page and you found my post. Wow, that's super nice. I'm getting more reach and visibility. It's really nice. The second tip is use tags with lesser posts if you are just beginning. So if you're just beginning, you don't want to use tags with 1.5 million posts or 500,000 or 800,000. Use tags with like 100,000 or even less, 80,000, just so your content gets stands the chance of being visible by people. Also, make your designs catchy. Simple, catchy. Doesn't have to be too much, doesn't have to be very ambiguous. Easily readable, simple, good fonts, and nice illustrations, nice colors. Just make it catchy. Also, make your content informative. Now, you're not just creating content for content's sake. You're not just flexing your muscles, doing whatever, designing whatever. You also want to make it informative because you are here to teach people. People should be able to pick something from it. Like, I learned this. Okay, this became clearer. Wow, I never knew of this. Yeah, make it informative. And the last tip I also want to share, I know I've said so many things and it's really hard finding a summary, but the last tip I want to also share is experiment stuff and find what works for you. Don't just go and copy somebody else. Experiment stuff, experiment with reels, experiment with videos, and then just find what works for you and what you can do conveniently. I also want to say it again that getting more followers feels really nice, not just because of the follower count, but because my content gets more reach. And so much work goes into creating content for me, and it's really encouraging that more people get to see what I do and learn from what I want to share. I was also scared of making this story very long. I wanted to skip so many parts of it, but I also felt like it would be nice to share my whole story. So here you go, that's my story. If you found this very helpful, please share, like this video, and also subscribe. And they live happily ever after. Peace.